Welcome to TYT Sports. Hope everyone is enjoying the Memorial Day weekends. For those of you who were enjoying your Saturday nights, UFC 187, Anthony Johnson versus Daniel Cormier, fantastic fight through all three rounds. Truly fantastic card altogether. UFC's really putting on some damn good entertainment of recent. So let's start off with Anthony Johnson versus Daniel Cormier. The first round, got to give a lot of props to Anthony Johnson. I've always just slightly favored boxing over UFC, but when UFC fighters like Anthony Johnson come out with a boxing strategy and land an unbelievable overhand right hook to the face of Daniel Cormier, backed him down, just truly, the only way to put it, entertaining. But this seemed to be part of Daniel Cormier's strategy, which we'll get into a little bit later. So from those, what I've read, what I observed, what I saw, what the judges saw, is that Cormier was looking to tire Anthony Johnson out. We know Anthony Johnson was always one more overhand right away from knocking out any fighter he steps into the octagon with. In Daniel Cormier's case, Cormier does not have a glass jaw. He can take these punches, at least from the boxing standpoint, and it obviously worked to his advantage when he submitted him 3 rounds later. So from the first round until about the last 10 seconds, all Johnson, all the way through, except for DeSantis, who scored that round 10-9 in favor of Cormier. Get the fuck out of here. Johnson had that. But Cormier in the last 10 seconds was able to land a few power punches of his own to obviously give, I guess, what that judge saw as just enough to put it in Cormier's favor. So fight tips at the end of the first round. Amazing first round with DC MMA and Anthony Rumble Johnson. Outboxed DC just as expected, and DC used his superior wrestling. So what happened in rounds 2 and 3 is we started to see Daniel Cormier work his Olympic wrestling experience into this fight. Basically, once Johnson was getting tired, once Johnson kept throwing too many power punches, and the second that Cormier started bringing Johnson to the ground, he tried to submit him versus Cormier. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I know that's what it was. Johnson was able to escape that, get back up, and land a few punches. But Cormier really was working the elbows on the ground, and once the fight went to the ground, that's where Cormier's strength comes out and obviously led to what happened in round 3. Besides putting Rumble against the cage with a single high leg, which was a nice little technical leg shot, Johnson goes down, Cormier jumps right on top, and Johnson resists for the moment, then taps out via rear naked choke. From what I saw, at least, unless Johnson was able to keep escaping those submissions and getting out from underneath and getting back into his boxing stance and working power punches and strong leg kicks, it didn't seem like Johnson was going to be able to get a knockout. Cormier looked a little bit more well-conditioned. He wasn't faster, per se, than Johnson was, at least moving in fluidity around the octagon, but it did seem like Cormier was not going to be taking any knockout punches in this fight. So, after the fight, TMZ Sports asked Daniel Cormier what he would be doing after the Johnson vs. Cormier victory.
Are you going to Mariah, Brittany, or Celine?
Mariah. Going to Mariah Sunday night. How'd you know that?
Oh, you actually
got it to my emails?
You actually
got it to my emails. You got it to my emails. I'm going to Mariah.
Mariah Carey, all Daniel Cormier wants for Christmas in June is you. Well, that wasn't really what was next for Daniel Cormier. What really is next for Cormier is what's on everybody's mind when there's a vacated title belt and still a fighter who should be holding that title. Let's take a look.
Jon Jones, get your shit together. I'm waiting for you.
I love the fighting words. I love the publicity. I love how fired up they get about this. Yes, the UFC will absolutely 10,000% reinstate Jon Jones because it always comes down to one thing. Sorry, fans, it ain't about you. It's about the money. And with Aldo McGregor around the corner in Vegas, which is going to bring in a ton of pay-per-view views, and with Ronda Rousey, who Dana White just said if she fights Cyborg will guarantee to break every record in the UFC record book. Jon Jones versus Daniel Cormier is a fight we want to see. We want to see the real title holder go against now somebody who claimed the vacated title holder's spot. Who will win? All of us. We all win that battle because the UFC is continuing to stack great cards on top of each other. I mean, Chris Weidman fought on this card. Donald Cerrone fought on this card. And that wasn't even the main event. The main event was Johnson vs. Cormier, and it truly showed what a main event can be like in a combat sport. So when it comes down to it, yes, Jon Jones will fight Daniel Cormier. But what do you guys think? What did you see in the fight that you liked from Johnson versus Cormier? What did you think about Weidman? What did you think about Donald Cerrone? And of course, what do you think about Jon Jones being reinstated? Do you think he should be reinstated or that it's fair? Or are you on my side and just think that it's all about the money? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. Click on myself to subscribe to TYT Sports. Give me a follow if you'd like at JasonRubin91. The tweets I was throwing up was courtesy of at Fight Tips, an awesome channel. Make sure to check him out too. He does a lot of UFC stuff. And as always, thank you for watching.